MAME phase.
Hello. It's been a little while since I've done a stream, and I'm feeling a little under the weather right now, but with not much else to do as a result, I figured why not? Let's play a few games in MAME. Let's have a look at some recent editions and some favourites, and just some random picks from home computer systems and arcades. So I'm going to start with a recent edition, which is Crazy Mazey, which is technically a Pac-Man bootleg and is set as a clone of Pac-Man in MAME, but is a little bit more, as you will see. So I imagine it's going to be a quiet one, because basically nobody's expecting me to be streaming right now. But anyway, let's put in a coin. And this means nobody's going to be telling me if my volume levels are okay, so if things are too loud, which they might well be, I apologise. Anyway, so as you can see, it's clearly a take on Pac-Man, and it is running a Pac-Man code base converted to Galaxian hardware, but the graphics are completely different, and there are a few gameplay tweaks, such as these doors in the playfield, which, if they are closed, you theoretically can't go through them, although that only applies if you're immediately turning. If you're already moving, you can, which feels weird. It almost feels like the game isn't properly emulated, but when you're dealing with this kind of hack, you never really know. See there, straight through it, because I was already moving. I mean, they do really get in the way, and incredibly annoying when you want to turn, you can't, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this was recently found and dumped. I think there's been a flyer going around for many years for it, but maybe a marquee, and nobody quite knew what it was. And people made comparisons to the Muppets of all things, saying this looks like these look like Muppet characters. Which they do a little. Kind of the image I was shown to compare to did look kind of Muppety. Now, you'll notice this has the top of the screen sprite blanking that a lot of these Galaxian conversions do. I don't know if that's correct, or if that circuitry should be disabled on this bootleg, or this hack conversion, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I personally don't think this should be set as a clone's Pac-Man, because, well, while it clearly is Pac-Man, it was sold as its own thing, and represents quite a significant amount of work, I think, in terms of the changes being made to it. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at it, because, well, all these changes to the maze layout and these doors, yeah, it makes it quite a lot more difficult. Like you see, I can't go through the corner there because it was closed. Now, I'm not going to say this is a massively positive change, because no, it's kind of annoying. You can see why I've done it, to try and make the game a bit more difficult. Make it stand out a bit, but it does make it just annoying at times. Let's give myself some extra lives. Don't think this has got the rack test, has it? So I can't see if it's got the cutscenes unless I get there. So, will I make it to a cutscene? I'm going to guess no. There's quite a wide area in the middle around the M2. Let's try and see how far we can get. I need a strategy. I need to know which areas of the maze to clear out first. And, also, the different colours of the enemies. I mean, I'm not used to the patterns. I don't know which ones have got which behaviours. It would require a little bit extra studying. However, I wanted to play this to highlight it so that it doesn't get overlooked, because there are so many Pac-Man bootlegs in MAME, clones of Pac-Man, that when this was just added as another clone of Pac-Man, you might literally think it's just another clone of Pac-Man and has nothing unique to offer, which, I mean, isn't true. You can see that from me attempting to play it. Yes, this was one of those very rare games from a company that clearly wasn't quite ready to make their own game yet, but was confident enough to try and sort of, well, let's say confident enough to hack up somebody else's game, much like a lot of the Korean games you see. And again, we don't usually set those as clones because they were technically sold as something else, even if they weren't fully original. Let me just play this out a bit anyway. Anybody drops by the chat, feel free to say hello, but I'm going to say, on these unannounced streams, I'm not really expecting busy conversations. So I'm going to tell you, I did better on my first credit. I won't get into any kind of, what is the fruit icons, I don't know what we'll change them into. It may. Yes, I'm doing quite badly here, aren't I? Let me seem quite aggressive. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a cutscene, so it looks like it's just the standard Pac-Man cutscenes. That's a shame. I was hoping I might rework them a bit more, but no. And yes, the sounds are very, very Galaxian. That's the sounds Galaxian hardware could make. Yes, there's a cup of blood. Maybe it's Kool-Aid, I'm not sure. Crazy Mazey want to eat. I mean, being crazy, they might fancy drinking blood. They're not vampires. You know what they are. It's annoying. The cornering itself, it's really annoying. You just end up tapping the button thinking, come on, I want to go around this corner. You can't. But yeah, if you wanted to play Pac-Man as a frog... And to be fair, I quite like the design of the frog character. I mean, it's sort of a frog on wheels. It reminds me of the type of thing I made on the Amiga. I was trying to code my own games. Just get an animal and stick a wheel on it. It's probably just meant to be legs, isn't it? But it looks like wheels. But anyway. One more credit of this. And then we will start to look at a few other things. This is one or two editions over the last day or two. One of them I'm not sure if we have. Come on. But we'll get to that later. For now, I'm just going to eat some flowers. Yeah, I do appreciate it when you get these hacks that are a little bit different. More so than, say, Piranha was different. Piranha was, yeah, it had some new graphics, but it was still much more obviously Pac-Man. There you go. Grab that. Aggressively chasing me, aren't they? Never mind. They got me. I'm sure somebody asked me about this game at Play Expo, in Blackpool too. At least somewhere the conversation came up, and I think it was there. Just asking me if I knew anything about the game, because all that was known was this marquee. And at the time I did not, because it hadn't surfaced. So yeah, it was on my mind, and obviously maybe they already knew something I didn't about it potentially surfacing. Otherwise, it's quite a strange coincidence it being mentioned so recently. But yeah, what I don't understand is this whole door mechanic. Why does it not block you if you're already moving? I did briefly check to make sure it wasn't sort of some protection read or something like that, but there don't appear to be any unmapped reads around the time you go through doors. And I'm not going to sit down and analyse the code base in that much detail. I'm assuming it's just how they did it. It's probably a very cheap code hack to do that blocking thing on the corners in the first place. And yes, I'm drinking some cow juice today. Probably not going to get a cow in the chat. I don't think cow does Twitch. Yes, Crazy Mazey. Hack. It's probably worth your time checking out if you're bored of every other Pac-Man hack and want something that is a bit different with some tweaks to the gameplay and obviously a unique maze and a little more effort than most of the other Pac-Man on Galaxian bootlegs too, which tend to sound a lot worse than this one. Anyway, moving on. A long time ago, this Spanish game, Altair, was dumped. It is a 1981 Sidosa game, and it looks like this. It's in Spanish, because Sidosa were a Spanish company, one of the earliest Spanish arcade developers, I believe. I mean, there weren't many doing arcade games back in 81, but you can see it's giving you the score table. And interestingly, it does not have a title screen. It will show you that. It will show you a bit of the demo, and it will keep looping around. So you know this owl-like boss, and then go back to the screen, which is just I think telling you the high scores and who's got the best high score, which is obviously just A at the moment because nobody's entered their name. Again, it's quite early for having named high scores, but anyway. Yeah, the sounds are all over the place, random. But let's just give it a little play. You move up and down. It does have this weirdly annoying screen flash when you change directions, because you can fire up or you can fire down. Not that screen flash, that's a different screen flash. But yeah, you can either shoot up or down, but whenever you change directions, I think it has to rewrite all the sprite memory, which takes a second or so. Well, not a second, but a moment or so. So the game kind of pauses when you do that. You can do that and make it go in slow motion. I'm assuming the real thing does that. I can't say I've ever played one of these in real life, because I think if you went in Spain, there was basically zero chance of you ever even encountering one. Yep, so you get the idea. It's quite a basic thing, but I suppose the being able to fire in both directions is a twist for 81, isn't it? Is it going to ask me for my name or not? No, I don't think it is. Very home computer-like in terms of the visuals, though. It's almost ASCII art. If it isn't, it's not far from places. It's just shoot this one point. Well, that's one way to get it done. Kind of reminds me of Sigma's New York in the sense they're all spawning from one place. Although in that case, in that game, it's all about trying to shoot the spawn point as quickly as possible. It's possible. It would be nice to actually get to the boss, wouldn't it? Their bullets are rather quick. And zigzaggy. Okay, another credit. This isn't the main game we're meant to be playing, by the way. yes, it has bullets that do odd things. And not always the most friendly things. These are big X bullets. Oh, so you can lose parts of your ship too. I lost the one of the thrusters there. It doesn't seem to affect your performance. So, just warning you, that was a very close hit. Yeah, these bullets sort of follow you. Come on, I'll do better than this. Nope, dead again. Then again, shall we give it another credit? These credits are going by quite quickly. Let's see, they start quite slowly. Unusual hardware platform too. Not a standard Z80 CPU or anything like that. These were not emulated until fairly late on relative to most of your traditional games of this period. These bullets are homing bullets. Makes them incredibly annoying. You see the spawn point changes as well. Moves around a little bit. Right. Now these ones are laying little mines that you have to avoid too, as far as I know. And then we get the boss. Okay, progress. I couldn't shoot at that boss though. I don't really know what I had to do at that point. So we can get there again. I do not like the homing shots at all. No. That's the other thing. If you move down, you are firing down, so it can get a bit confusing because you can try and position and shoot, and then realise no, you're shooting in the opposite direction. Your shot direction is entirely dependent on the way you're facing. And yet, if you fail a wave, that wave does start from the start again. Ooh. I thought it was doing really well this time too, but then this wave's come along and wiped me out. Try again. Try again. In the main game we're trying to show. It's kind of, it's slightly addictive. I mean, I think the audio is maybe the worst part of this one. Lots of bleeps and bloops and yeah. What do we do here? I can no longer fire. Oh, my shots are just invisible? That's a bit weird. I'm guessing that's a bug. I can fire, but my shots are invisible at the boss. I don't know why they'd be invisible, but there you go. Maybe it's some sprite multiplexing thing that doesn't work properly. I really don't know. Anyway. Ooh, red screen. Yeah, you look, it actually wants me to enter my name or something. Yeah. Do I really have to cycle the entire alphabet? I think I do. Is there an end? I guess not, because it just ends after a while, does it? Well, there you go. I got a high score after beating the boss, which, as I said, was a bit weird because I could not see my bullets on the boss screen. That may need investigation. No, it does feel like a bug to me, the missing bullets, Mitchell. Anyway, you get all those letters sent to your name. What I was going to show, though, is that I suppose the sequel, Altair II, was just dumped. And this one does have a logo, although it doesn't say Altair II, it just says Altair. And I think it's basically the same game. Although, look, the now you've got some sort of giant baby rather than the previous owl-like figure. I'm guessing not much is known about this one. But the presentation is a little more fitting with, I think, one of the other Sedelsa games. Now you see, now it's pushing forward the idea of this flipping because you get enemies spawning at the bottom as well. Whereas before you could almost ignore the flip feature, but now it more actively makes you think about it. So they have tweaked the gameplay. It definitely feels like it is a sequel. Let me see now from at the bottom. There we go, beat them. And these are the mine rings. Oh yeah. Well, they did lay mines in the other version too. I just didn't give them much chance to. So, and now we have the boss knight. Flashes pink and stuff. And yeah, again, my shots are invisible. I'm not sure what that's all about. But, unless they're meant to, but that would seem like a very odd design choice. Again, I can't say I've ever played the original or seen an original of this. Now, you can't move up and down this section. You cannot flip it at all. Is one side not enough? No. No, see, when it's destroyed, my bullets become invisible. So it seems to be something with the boss being on screen that is preventing the bullets from rendering. If it's too many sprites, or maybe the last sprite's not rendering for some reason, I really don't know. You can still play it, it's just a bit off-putting. You're really filling up the screen. Huh. Right, okay. Come on. There you got me. You got me again. Game over. I wonder what the criteria to get your name entry score is then, because it's not that obvious. Maybe you have to beat the boss at least once, because the default high score was 0. And obviously, on all my other credits in the other version, I did get that. Yeah, there's I guess if you just don't touch the controls for a while in the high score entry, it accepts your entry. But still, it's a very slow high score entry process with just a single button to cycle through the letters. Not much in the way of an track demo on these either. So, if you saw this in the arcade, I mean, you'd assume it's a space shooter, but you wouldn't really know what you're getting yourself in for. Again, I doubt that you saw any kind of distribution outside of Spain. But anyway, let's have a look at some recent work in progress from Kale. Hey, Master Ninja Twitch, welcome. I hope you're doing well. So, Kale has been looking at this driver, the XTOM 3D, and it's a PC-like motherboard with a Voodoo. It's not going to run at full speed in MAME. I think we'll get about 80%, and even then it's not full speed. And there's lots of graphical issues, but I thought I'd show it off anyway, just to give you an idea of what people have been looking at. So, yeah, according to this, it's Pentium 266. Don't know if that's underclocked or if that's the real speed. There's also a dance game on this hardware that I don't know if boots yet, but I think this will boot. I tried it the other day, and I think, yeah, here we go. It seemed to. So, I think Kale's got a video of this, so it's like 90% at the moment, but Andrew and Jamie development system. So yeah, the fog is all over the place in this. We are getting 89%, but this is clearly much slower than 89%. I think it's running at half the speed it says it is. And yeah, the music's going to be a bit broken. I apologise for that. However, as awful as this is looking, and as slow as this is looking, it is progress. It is progress. So we'll move to another scene slowly. Yeah, we'll just coin up, and you can see what it's all about. You can coin up. There we go. Eventually it accepts the coin. XTOM 3D shooter. And yeah, I'm assuming these delays are because the CPU is too slow. Select your player, so we can select one of the two. Let's just select XTOM. No, 3 even. There's 3 different characters. There we go. But it's nice to see these PC-derived systems coming along. They're obviously a little bit difficult to emulate. Any kind of high-speed Pentium is going to be a problem. Here we go. Stream of South Valley. So we are currently, yeah, it says it's 90% speed, but it's. I think I enabled. I've turned both players on. Oh dear me. 80% speed apparently. Yes, it's a 3D shoot 'em up. A Korean 3D shoot 'em up. And until recently, it didn't boot at all in MAME. So the fact that Kale has managed to get it showing this much is good progress. It's got sound too. So I don't know if it runs with sound if you hack it to run in DOSBox, because the sound is not a standard PC sound from what I remember. Although I think there's a native PC version as well. So I mean, 3D games from Korea from this period were kind of rare. A lot of the Korean games, you know, are 2D Hyperstone horror and stuff like that, or say dance games. So the fact they attempted to make a 3D shooter, better or worse, is an interesting piece of history. And no, it's clearly not running even close to the 86% speed it says it's running at. But it gives you an idea of what the game is and you know, potential MAME in the future, and sometimes that's what I like to have a little look at. What MAME may one day do better than it does now. Land diver. We do have the bomb, which is just tanks the frame rate even more. Hey. But yes, it's clearly showing that MAME's Voodoo emulation is not really up to this, surprisingly. All the fogging is very, very wrong. And that I wasn't expecting that, because I thought Voodoo emulation in general was quite good. But apparently, this highlights some flaws in it. At least for the Voodoo chipset this is using. Not all Voodoo chipsets are the same. And that's why we have things like the Voodoo 2 and the Voodoo 3 and Banshee and... not sure exactly which one this used. But, yes. Kind of nice to see that. I don't think anybody's going to watch this stream and go, I'm going to try and play that in MAME, because it's not ready yet, clearly. However, it was good to highlight the progress, and I'll play a little bit of this. Not sure what I'm going to play afterwards. I could look at some random home game. Yeah, like that. Consider this arcade and home. Yeah, I think we've seen enough of that anyway. That progress, but not really running all that well. I'm going to drag out the Sharp X1 of all things. Warning, you may hear some loading sounds. Tanuki. I don't think that's the full name. I think it's based. It's a checkers in Tanuki is the proper name. The software list appears to have a shortened version of that. And yeah, with most of these we have to. Well, manually. Not vertical stretch, horizontal stretch. Yeah, let's get the sizing a bit better. There we go. So, what do we have here? We have a little maze game. The buildings look like they're sliding. They may well have been. So, in this game, you walk around leaving a trail of notes. You can't go back on yourself, so it's a bit like Nibbler in the sense that if you trap yourself, then you're in trouble. But as soon as you wake up this character here, that character will go back over your trail, and at that point you can walk on your trail, which is a bit different. But as soon as the I think it's a raccoon. It's meant to be a raccoon. Some little squirrel. As soon as they've finished following your trail, they'll go back to sleep. Unfortunately, I'm in trouble here because the girl will always home in on you. Whereas the guy seems to just follow. No, I've messed it up. I've trapped myself. Don't do that. This is a game I've never played until earlier today when I was just looking for games to play, and I thought, no, seems like a good idea. I think you have to try and get it to eat the other character to get bonus letters? I'm not entirely sure. Flowers on the walls. Yeah, it looks a bit like, what was it? Akazukin, the balls made of flowers. That was a very different style of game. This seems like a very silly thing to have done. Can I get around here? I'm playing this one dangerously. But yes, I like this because it's very much a non-traditional maze game. There are no games in the arcade that have this sort of gameplay. So yeah, when that creature eats the man, it puts a letter at the top, which seems something important. Hey Taz, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'm just playing a random selection of games. This is one. What was it called? Tanuki, Tanuki for the Sharp X1. Sharp X1 being a Japanese computer. Oh, you're... Okay. Interesting. So, it doesn't make you invulnerable while they're eating the notes. You can still be killed. Right. You are number 3. Okay. Yeah, I'm number 3. Let's give that another go. There you go. Checkers in Tanuki. See, the software, this name should probably be updated, to be honest. Now, I'm sure there's some strategy in how it's best to move to the... no, I've messed up. I trapped myself because you can't go with your own notes. But they say the girl will always go towards you, which surely must be part of the strategy. The guy has his own plan. Yeah, I think this is a game where you've got a fair bit of learning to do if you want to play it effectively. Here's hot much. Yeah, I got the... This is a bit of a hot pursuit. Yeah, okay, I'm going to try and get straight to that thing as quickly as I can. Just get rid of her. No. Rise from your grave. Good. You're cold and have major acid reflux or something. Hey, Cinemax 2 and hey, Mr. Fungi. Welcome. I don't play Sharp X1 games very often. That's one of the reasons I decided to have a look at them. I mean, I've had a bit of a cold, or probably COVID actually, because I know a bunch of people who have it. I just don't have any tests. So I've just been keeping myself away from everybody. Yeah, I guess you do really have to get the squirrel type creature to eat the guy if you want to progress. So that seems to be how you finish levels. Unless it's just one level, but I doubt it. Come on, go up there, go there and get eaten. Yes. That's useless. Now, apparently, from what I read, this is based on... I've trapped myself. Based on a movie? I'm not sure how you'd get from a movie to... Oh dear, this... No, that's you done for. Doesn't feel like a movie game. What do I know? Is it just as windy there as it is up here? Or down here even? Because it's ridiculous. There's fences blowing over everywhere. Surprisingly, not our fence. There's something of a miracle considering Our fence is just held up by a few nails. Fish? I have no idea what that is. You had to go and chase you. Yep, we've got our blue bin decided to shed its load. So yeah, this is a bit different. Oh come on, but also kind of tricky. It's very easy to trap yourself. And you are entirely defenseless. Oh, is he going to come on this path? No. What am I even spelling? Star? Oh, yep. Start. Useful. I would like to at least try and clear a stage of this. Yeah, Aussie Guide probably... Well... Aussie Guy tends to be the one with the facts when Aussie Guy's around. I mean, I don't personally know much about this game either. I just was firing up random games in the... X1 software list earlier and went, oh, that seems quite interesting. Let's give that a play. And see how it turns out. Oh, start. I can click the stage, I think. Stage 2. My adventures in stage 2 involved me walking in the wrong direction and dying. At least I got to stage 2. At least I got to stage 2. I forget it's a keyboard game because it's a Sharp X1 game. So I'm ZZZXC8. Yeah, Checkers in Tanuki by Pony. Based on a movie of some description that I've never seen. It's probably only in Japanese. But, a bit of a different take on your maze game. Oh dear. I think lots of people had energy drinks and bottles everywhere. Right, let's go with one that may not be the easiest to play. I say this. Right. Takes forever to boot, but it will boot. Now, this is marked as Japan in MAME. It's clearly not a Japanese version because Windy Fairy did a bit of research and found out, well, A, it's locked to English, and B, it shows the parental advisory warning. And if you actually hack the ROM to be Japanese, that shows a for use in Japan only instead. So this is not a Japanese version, despite what MAME says. So, that is a cow. I did post a picture of this in the cow spotting channel on my Discord, because cows will feature. Now, I can't remember if this is set to... no, it's set to normal. We don't want normal. We definitely don't want very hard. We want very easy, because I'm terrible at games. For some reason I can't select truck in any other way than quick. But yeah. What is it? IO test, no. Others. See, you can't change language. Language is always set to ENG. because this is not a Japanese version. The same pony, yes. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. Well, early 80s in Japan is, and then again, I'm sure I've seen Pony somewhere else on maybe one of the, maybe it's the NES or MSX, not just the X1. So anyway, this game. Press the horn button. What is the horn button? The horn button is C. Which of these fancy trucks do I want? That one's very pink. I'm going to go with the very pink truck. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of Japanese text in the FMVs, but once you actually get to the game and it telling you what to do, you will quickly realise that there's a lot of English in this. So, what are we doing? JVU? That's definitely... Oh, there we go. There we go. Now, this is one of the Namco systems that is roughly PlayStation based. It's quite a wild truck adventure. So, drive... Oh. Yes, drive into things. I don't think it's advisable to drive into things. Looks like 18-wheeler. I think 18-wheeler is slightly more serious than this is. As you will see. So, yeah, okay. Bye, Carl. Hey, Aussie guy, welcome. And no problem, it's very much an unannounced stream because I was feeling a bit ill and sorry for myself. So yeah, this section, I think we just got to ram the truck off the road. But yes, as we discussed, this is definitely not a Japanese set. It seems to be, well, I mean, from the parental advisory thing, you'd think it's a US set, but it could just be a world set or an Asia set. You see, very surprised. If it was all the quotes and things are in English. Wait. I have guts for driving on the train track. But Metro did like to make these very weird games with Namco. You see it with the Gahaha games and some of the other System 10 ones. I don't know if a lot of the weird Namco games are Metro, even if they're not credited. Because if you look at something like Choco Vader, that feels like one of the Metro games too, even though Metro aren't credited that one. Yeah, I did put this up easy just so we can see a bit more of the game, because this was made working a few months ago, around the same time as the Unjamalami game was made to work, because it's got a similar setup. But this one didn't really get much attention compared to that one. I guess because there wasn't loads of hype for it beforehand. Also, I don't think this is really known now. Did it get ports? Was it on the PlayStation 2? No idea. It's definitely a weird one. Now, because I put it on easy, there's not much traffic. If you leave the difficulty as it is, there's loads of traffic anyway. So, which way are we going? Let's keep going this way. That thing. There we go. Metro made Idol Masters too. Not played that one. That home one or another arcade game. Who builds tunnels like this? I'm like a roller coaster. this game does feature the Nam cow. Hopefully we'll get to the Nam cow. That is my target. But they say don't crash. You will, unless it's that stage where you went to ram the other truck off the road. Crashing does cost you time, unfortunately. Bump and jump. This is not. I feel this is probably the closest stream I'm going to do to Christmas too, so I don't know if I should include something Christmassy on it. Not quite up the cow yet. I'm going to the stage to go. Wonderful, you're a champ, the track friend. So you can change the track. Oh yeah, just change it eventually. I don't like that view. Never been a fan of them. In-cab views on racing games. I'm sure there's loads of shortcuts, so I could probably have taken a shortcut there or along, but like I did with the tunnel earlier. It's one of those games where I think you learn that as you play it. The trucking games are quite popular these days, aren't they? You've got like the Euro truck game and things, and rather simulators, and this is. Oh, I've got dots. You see, you can seem to drift the truck too, which I suppose you can do more easily if you're analog controls. Drifting doesn't really work with digital. There we go. It's now Chase HQ like again. One energy bar down, two energy bar down. I'm good. But I'm guessing a ghost. This tunnel's haunted. Yep, I think this tunnel's haunted. Oh dear me. I'm guessing not many people have seen this one in MAME anyway, because it's only recently been. Let's see, I reckon I can get down there. You know, let's see. Off road. Ooh. Valley truck. But yeah, we started with a bit of crazy Mazey. Then had a look at the Spanish games, the Altair games. And then we switched to X1 with Tanuki, Tanuki. And now we're here with the Kyosokyoku. Which I probably pronounced entirely incorrectly. I did point out one of the things that Aussie guy has been mentioning quite often in the chats on Twitter, and that is the connection between Donkey Kong and Congo Bongo, aka Tip Top, and how you can clearly see it's got the same graphical style, the same bonus counters, even the same default player one score in the demo, because really, there's some cows there, you see. I didn't crash into them this time. In fact, disappointingly, can I even go backwards? No, it won't let me go back to the cows. If you crash into the cows, you get the very surprised text again. Somehow I avoided them. Yeah, we did not surprise the cows. There'll be another opportunity. Let's see, I think. Well, just throwing stuff on their trucks this time. This is a ridiculous tune. I don't think all the tunes are ridiculous. Let's go this way. Yeah, I think I missed the funny cow bit because I didn't crash into the cows. I apologise. Instant game over because they fell off the track. Yeah, I think if you fall off the track, it's instant game over. Do I give up? I mean, I fell off the track. I'm dead. No, we've not done any final lap. No. But yes, this is another one of those very weird Namco games. And yeah, the high scores are still in Japanese, but it's like it got half localized and they just sort of put it out, but it's not the Japanese set, despite what MAME claims. And well, there you go. What next? What next? Kind of tempted to switch back to the X1. Switch back to the X1. Oop. Loading Donkey 3. Wait, does this fit on screen? Good enough. No, I'll shrink it a little bit. This is one of the issues with these systems. They all use slightly different portions of the screen. So this is Donkey Kong 3 Gyakushū, which is not the same as Donkey Kong 3 in the arcades, it has to be said. But it is still relying on you having your bug spray, which you can spray to good old Kong here to keep him in the air. So yeah, I don't know why they made a spin-off of what is really one of the more unpopular Donkey Kong games in the first place. Does anybody really play Donkey Kong 3? Don't mind it. Get back up there in the air. Well, yeah, all you really got to do is juggle between shooting your Galaga-style waves of enemies and making sure Mr. Kong here does not land. And of course avoiding everything. Did get ports on a few other systems. There's a PC-88 version of this. So, yes, I think the round will end after a certain number of waves of enemies. Oops. Yeah, somebody mentioned that on the Twitter, Aussie guy. It seems like a very detailed write-up that I should probably have a read of. But people did seem interested in just the connection. A lot of people haven't even noticed that the bonus round the bonus countdown text and style is all the same, the font's the same, the default score's the same, and things like that. I suspect they share a bunch of code, to be honest. I think Congo Bongo is probably built off the code base for Donkey Kong. Yeah, I don't know why Donkey Kong is trying to land on a highway here. But sometimes you don't question these things, you just accept them. But, yeah, I don't ever really cover the Sharp X1, so I figured it'd be a good idea to. I don't know what the flag is. I'm going to shoot the flag. Maybe I was meant to shoot the flag to finish the level. Wouldn't surprise me. get it, Donkey Kong. Just slow down a bit, much this. Very precise in where you shoot them to. Unless the round ends when you get Donkey Kong high enough. Great counter-attack, ah. On the strange bridge. I mean, it's an odd one. It feels so not canon. I guess I can't just shoot them off the screen, can I? No, it doesn't end just because I get Donkey Kong all the way up there. Must be a balance of the two. You know, it's like Donkey Kong Invade. He's trying to parachute him down onto a random bridge. Or like Satan's Hollow. Doesn't Satan's Hollow have a bit more gameplay depth? I mean, I don't know. This just feels like... This almost just feels like some knockoff fan case, not a game that Nintendo licensed. It's just like, let's put Donkey Kong in a random shoot 'em up. Stay up there. This is Stanley, of course, not Mario. This is Stanley. He does not use a knife. He uses looks great. I suppose it makes sense if you're trying to get rid of invading insects. Nintendo's one-off. I mean, there's Super Mario Spectral and Punch Ball and stuff like that as well, which are kind of weird games. So it's interesting. The Japanese computers are always interesting dive. I mean, as are the British ones. Just see what was there. There we go. Unfortunately, I don't think this ever gets super challenging. No, it's just Country Road. It looks like it's just taken from a cartoon. Like, is Roadrunner gonna just come around the corner and go meep? Okay. Yeah, Mystic Warriors did just come out, didn't it? I know the Arcade Archives, I think, are done with quite a lot of knowledge. I think they've got access to some resources that have probably been kept in the archives too. Or they're just relying on loads of hacks to make things work, I don't know. I mean, you never know with these closed emulators, do you? It's always a bit of a mystery. Punch Ball should have been an arcade game, you feel? I have to play Punch Ball one of these days. I'm not sure I've ever really sat down and played it. I play through my lives on this one at least. Blimey, we've been streaming for an hour already. I guess I'll also briefly show off what I've been working on. Which, I mean, you've seen it anyway from the videos uploaded, but after this, not much to show yet. Yeah, it's worth a little discussion, isn't it? So that one you can't kill, you can just stun by the looks of it. Oh, nothing matters, I'm dead. All my lives are gone. Game over. Yeah, whatever. one thing you never know with these X68K games, some use keyboard to enter your name, others use a traditional arcade sort of select the letter system. But, yes, Donkey Kong 3. Great counterattack is the translation according to Aussie Guy, so there you go. Stage's title. I mean, it's not wrong. Written by ITA. There you go. There you go. There you go. So, what next? Yeah, I'll quickly show that off. So, yeah, what's been keeping me busy is trying to get this thing running, this Marimba Tengoku, which is a Japanese Bimani plug and play. Bimani? Yeah, Bimani. Plug and play from Konami, which runs on Poems hardware. And that's kind of interesting because it was dumped and we couldn't recognise immediately what CPU it used. And it turns out it uses a CPU based on the Extensor architecture, which was completely unemulated by MAME at the time. So to get it this far, I've had to write a CPU core from scratch, which is not something I tend to do. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of unknowns with the hardware, and right now these balls should be moving, it should be doing other things, and it should obviously have some sound. And I don't really know what it wants, or if there are still some CPU bugs. It also seems to be stuck in some sort of demo mode, because even if I skip this, it just goes to the title screen, and it says something version on the screen, and it doesn't actually let me start it, it just keeps cycling through the demo. And it's always got the no battery sign up there. But the fact it does this much is quite a lot of progress. And we identified that there are 6 other plug and play systems using this Poems hardware. And Team Europe have picked up the ones they could find. They've been shipped to them, I think, by sea mail, so might take a good 2-3 months before we get to look at them. So I think I'll be putting this on hold until then, and at that point I'm going to hope that the others are dumpable and can tell me a little more about this hardware that may either point at CPU core bugs or point at how something like the sound works, or just tell me a bit more than this. But the fact this runs at all, even in just, this, a week or so's work got us a working CPU core pretty much, is more than I expected. So, shoot real, it says. Yeah, I don't know. We can't do anything. But yeah, this should be a fun little music one if we can actually get it running at some point. But for now, that is all it's going to do. So, what shall we have a look at now? Let's just go with 64th Street. One thing that's been happening lately is some of these Toshiba MCUs have been dumped, and the Jellico games do use them as an I/O controller. I mean, the I/O controller was already simulated. It's not going to make a significant difference to the emulation. Might make it a little bit slower, but not much. But at least it means the simulation code is going to be cleaned up, and they can run with the actual I/O controllers emulated, which is a nice little thing. So yeah, this is one of the games, 64th Street. People don't talk about this one quite as much as, say, Final Fight, I like. I think it overlooked, but it's not a bad game, really. It's got some interesting features. You can blow enemies against the backgrounds and break the backgrounds in places. Oh, yes, smashing the car. It's, I kind of like environmental destruction like that. It adds a little bit to the game. You've got big chunky sprites. Probably one of the better looking of the Mega System 1 games, if you ask me. Is the audio a bit loud here? If the audio is too loud, let me know, because it seems a little bit louder on this than the other games. Yeah, let's just go. I love these air poses. Woo. Chocolate. I want some chocolate. Now it's just cheese. You get your little desperation attack like that. There you go. Get some chocolate. But yeah, I think most areas of the backgrounds can be smashed up to a degree. It's a neat little touch. It's not the only Jalico game with a sort of throwing system either. Yeah, Samurai-Fighter was recently fixed. That was a delayed protection check of things. Really, really obvious once you've seen it. But yeah, the game would previously crash at random, usually on the second stage, because there's always a chance of executing a piece of protection code later in the game. Whereas most of the other games check it on startup. Although Plus Alpha does have the delayed protection check too. So I'm kind of surprised it wasn't more obvious and noted that the Shingen crash was likely to be that. But yeah, the Shingen crash was protection, and it does now work. I don't know if I've streamed that since I fixed it. Will we stream it again? I know the credit is for that. Yes. This, I believe you can also play on the arcade. I think it's one of the ones that I helped get running on the arcade. It's difficult to remember exactly. But yeah, I think this one is on the arcade. Well, that is without the MCU emulation, but in cases like that, emulating MCUs, you can simulate anyway, because it just costs processing power. You've cleared Shingen Fighter. Good. Yeah, there have been a few Mega System 1 fixes, although I definitely still need to make a few more. The high score screen on Chimera Beast is still not quite right. The gripping effect is meant to mask the screen somehow. I'm not exactly sure how. And Gyakushū, it's been pointed out that there's missing text in the introduction, but I'm 99% sure that's because the dump versions of Gyakushū are export versions and the text has been removed because it specifically does not write to the scroll register with the sets we've got. And there seems to be PCB footage from versions that don't show the text either, so I think the versions that show the text on the startup are the Japanese versions, and there is no Japanese version of Gyakushū dumped. As much as it seems like a Japanese game, I'm pretty sure the sets we have are not Japanese sets. How many the buttons? Probe needs to tie down. It's got a bit of a story to it. That's a Sonic tune. Ooh, roll. Also, apparently, Skullfang is broken in Convergence in MAME, because Kim Justice has just done a couple of Data East write-ups. She did one for Data East 80s games and one for Data East 90s games. And I know a year or two ago when I was streaming Skullfang, it was locking up on me, and she said she's found the same thing. So at some point we need to work out why Skullfang currently locks up. It shouldn't do. I'm pretty sure it didn't used to, like when the graphic emulation was terrible. But these days, Skullfang does apparently lock up, and you're lucky if you can complete the first stage. Developed by CP Brain, former Icom staffs. Yeah, they did a good job on this one. They did a very good job on this one. So, yeah, we'll stick with Jellicoe. As the guy mentioned, Shingen Samurai-Fighter is now fixed. I mean, we'll have a quick look at it. The first battle. Target Yori Siege. It's a very, very janky feeling game, this one in the first place. Very stiff. But you have your left and right attacks. So it's what Renegade and stuff like that. Did this left and right attack? Was it Double Dragon Renegade or both? I can't remember at this point. But yeah, your attacks are one button for each direction. I don't usually die here, but yeah, it's not a fast-paced game. I guess it's meant to feel slightly more serious in the combat. It's the blood splatter. You can get your power-ups. I've got the Moo, a part of the power-up. 64th Street. Yeah, it does feel a bit SNES-like, doesn't it? Whereas this feels a bit more 8-bit. I'm not sure. Maybe early 16-bit. A lot of these Mega System Game 1 games don't feel the most polished, especially not considering they've got dual 68K processors. Yeah, when researching these ones, it turned out the protection chip isn't an MCU on these ones, it's a gate array, which also provides the encryption, so any board with the same gate array chip will always have the same encryption and this ROM overlay style protection. And it was the ROM overlay protection that was not hooked up for this game, which gets checked, say, in various places. I really like Side Battle as far as Mega System 1 games go. And of course Rodland, but the arcade version of Rodland is just too slow. That was a waste of time. No, it wasn't. Yeah, Rodland had potential, but really needed somebody to optimise the arcade version. Trying to play Rodland 2 players, it's borderline unplayable. I picked up the power up when I didn't want it, because you want to be filling in those samurai letters. Stop. I did it again. I think Mitsu Butsu's got a game a little bit similar to this, haven't they? Okay. Yeah, there's still a bunch of hacks in the driver too. Things to do with the sound tempo and stuff like that. It was not like MAME's OKI status, but then for Hatchu to have sound effects, you have to return the OKI status as normal. It's a bit of a weird one. But this game is now fully playable, it won't crash on you. Oh damn. Yeah, I mean, I failed to get the power, didn't I? Because the level ended. Sodam, I kind of like, but I'm really bad at. It's a difficult one for me to call. Rodland spin-off in some of it's got the Rodland stage, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose it's okay. Again, that's just what I get with a lot of Jalico. Their games are often okay. Just eat sword. Look at that knockback. Woohoo! There. There you go. Hachu is very rough. Well, the Hachu does have that neat little feature where you can throw enemies towards the camera. And then you get giant versions of them, which is probably where most of the ROM capacity went. Let's just chop me down. And, drain away my life. Hey, okay. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll give it credit. Let's stick with the. I'm sure I already looked at these on stream, but Sint Dragon, another Jalico Mega System 1 game. I guess you can see the connection between Hachu and 64th Street, because 64th Street does have throwing enemies at the background, whereas Hachu has throwing at the foreground. But 64th Street plays an awful lot better than Hachu does. Yeah, see, one of the other fixes was this raster effect here was fixed. I can't remember if I streamed these tonight. It's been so long since I've streamed anything, I honestly can't remember. But previously this plus start animation did not work properly, and now it works properly, so not a major. Game Tengoku, yeah, it's a shame there's such a mess with the physical release of that on the Switch. Dispatch Games just apparently messing everybody around and just taking orders and not delivering the product. Because I would have liked a physical copy of that, to be honest. Yeah, I think there's still maybe some emulation bugs. That's Mega System 32. I remember just getting the shadows working at all, and that was a pain. This seems a lot quieter than the other one. I don't know. Let's blast a few things. This is a very difficult game. Luckily, you can block with your tail. I mean, one of the things you have in this game is your tail, which is a very useful tool if you want to block things. So you can sort of curl up a little bit. I mean, you can't block everything, so don't try and block everything. He's flying. Flying cats. Big cats. Whoa, man, I've got killed. Game Tengoku has a good Saturn port. Is it one of those Saturn ports which has got horrible shimmering though, because they tried to squash it into the horizontal screen, or does it hold up a bit better? Because that's one of the problems with a lot of vertical shoot 'em ups to the Saturn. They just use the time-up scaling to scale everything, and it looks bad. Or does it have proper rotator mode, which is always a nice option. They tend to go either way. Yeah, this is an alright shooter. It's a bit tough, but don't mind a tough shooter too much. So, be strategic. Block. Use your tail. That's cheap. That's very, very cheap. Being attacked from behind. even when I know about it, I almost let it happen again. Yeah, visually, I think the visuals and the animation on this one are elevated beyond what you might expect. Almost, I don't want to say it has a the cow-like creature. I don't want to say it looks like an IREM game, because IREM have got Dragon Breed, which doesn't look like this, despite being another dragon-based game. But it definitely doesn't have your traditional Calico look, this one. I count that as a draw. It has a proper Tate mode. Excellent. I might have to check that out at some point then, although I imagine the MS32 version probably runs better than the Saturn version in MAME. Because that's how these things are. What else should I look at? What should I look at? Right, I'm just going to check some notes and see. See what this says. No, that's a stream I did. I've got loads of notes from when I've wanted to do streams and not actually stream them. And that is stuff I've not checked out yet, so that's not an option. Hold on. I think that's yeah, that's the that's an older set. Don't really want to stream those. Okay. Anybody's got any suggestions? I'm willing to have a look at. Let's otherwise. Why don't I just see if this works? This is where I've not even tested the games yet. Is this even in here? Okay, maybe that's not even in my list of software. Interesting. Sorry for this. I was going to play Undead Line on the X68K, but it doesn't look like it's in the software list. Unless there was a different name. Never mind. When are we doing that one then? We'll just play the Genesis version. I'm surprised. I thought the software list for the X68 was quite complete, but I do not see Undead Line in there. Boogie Wings does have a Christmas stage, yes. I probably will play Boogie Wings at some point. For now, we have a bit of Undead Line. Soft. This is that's the stop one. This is one of those Mega Drive games that nobody seemed to have growing up. But I kind of wish I'd had growing up. But I didn't even know about it until much later. This is a Halloweeny one, but I didn't end up doing my Halloweeny stream because I was kind of ill around Halloween too. So hey, Halloween game now. Oh, what is it? Looks like extermination. I suppose they are both walk-along shooters. I was thinking more Darkness, Casting Darkness from Cebu. Taito. I can see the Extermination. That'd be good at it. It's not Undead line, it's You Will Die Very Often line. You would also pass honest. Went well. So very, very well. Not played that one. Maybe I should play that one. Try again. Yeah, Extermination is one of those Taito games that doesn't necessarily feel like a Taito game. Like nice layered scrolling here. I'm playing the cave stage because cave. Nothing to do with cave. I mean, the collision is a bit weird in this because you would have thought you'd be able to walk behind the stalagmites there, but they're just really solid boxes. I'm not getting further than staying. Good shooter, but I'm not good at it. The collision box is surprisingly big. Right, when I die again, I'm going to have a look at the game Aussie guy mentioned. And see what that's like. Because I'm familiar with it. And then, yeah, after that, I think we'll do some tweaking. Yeah, you shoot the thing to get different weapons. Okay. So maybe some weapons are better for certain situations. It doesn't power me yet. It's a good one. Those turret things that really get me, they just start filling the screen with bullets, and the collision box is a bit big, and I have no strategy because I've not really played this game enough. Okay. So, Sun Dragon was developed by NMK. Indeed, NMK. I guess it's not visually very NMK either, but yes. NMK did a lot of good stuff. Tend to be underrated. Right, so what's this next Famicom game? Okay. Never played this before. This is the one that Aussie guy mentioned. The game you just played looks a bit like this one. Maybe I have played this. I don't know. Oh yes. Yeah, I see. Yeah, shoot things. Don't you? Bit like what is it? Nightmare, the MSX game. Konami too. So yeah, walk along shooter. Hop. Have I played this before? I can't remember. kind of feel like I might have not. Speed up. Punch up. I decided to take a bath. I've definitely played a game where you have to hop on lily pads like this before. We will give that another try. King's Quest. I'm assuming King's Quest isn't related to the King's Quest adventure games. That would seem a bit out of place on the NES. Then again, the NES got Maniac Mansion, so I suppose not rule it out. If you say King's Quest, I definitely think of the adventure games. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Versus version of this. So yeah, not what I'm thinking of at all. This mixed with Twinkle Star Sprites? Ooh, I've got Boomerang. Kind of reminded of a Boomeranger now, the Data East game, although that's obviously a very different game. I mean, that's one of the most open arcade games, I think, because you just put on a landmass and your jump is utterly useless. Okay. You literally have to take a running jump there. You can't just jump on the spot. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Wow, that's quite the jump. This isn't bad actually. This isn't right. I mean, if Hudson did it, then something's going to be alright, isn't it? Hudson, I don't think really did bad games. I'm sure you can now name many bad games Hudson did. Yeah, that kind of logic's always very confusing. You know, enemies can shoot through enemies without killing them. They can shoot through powers without killing them. And I think the most annoying one for me in that sense is still Rad Rally, where the computer car can drive through anything and it's fine. So it can drive through a car that then hits you. And it's like, no, that's not fair. But yeah, Adventures of Dino Riki is not a little bad caveman adventure. And I think get to the point where you turn to a muscle man and stop firing clothes at yourself. That's a bit more Choaniki there. A little bit more Choaniki. Anyway, I did say I would do the Christmas tradition, because this is probably the closest we're going to get to a Christmas stream, and it's an all-time classic from Data East. It is Boogie Wings.
The Great Ragtime Show.
The Great Ragtime Show. Yes, you may know it. So it starts off as it needs to go on with just a lot of stuff going on. What's the parts? Grab a plane. Toss the plane about. But yes, that's the thing with this game. You can grab anything onto your hook and throw it around. Put it in the tanks. And explosions everywhere. And just the ridiculous. And it uses a lot of special effects, so you can see the shadow under the ship here. Which is all fancy pen effects and manipulation. Not through blending, it's I believe pen effects. I could be wrong, I can't remember what it's called. Also, don't play it properly. It's very easy just to burn through credits on this because so much is going on. Now, I don't know if MAME's emulation of the shading effects is perfect yet. The explosions are very explodey. Now the one thing that gets me, in the end credits of this, it refers to it as Ragtime Project number 2. So what was Ragtime Project number 1? Boom. King's Knight. Ah, that makes more sense. So King's Quest is something a bit different. Merry Christmas. See, this is Santa's new way of getting about. Extra hook. No, so Santa would just have to sacrifice him. Oh, I've lost my plane. That's not. This feels like a desperation. Yeah, I don't think that would survive it. Very colourful Christmas, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely one of the crazier Day 3's games. I mean, they have quite a few crazy games. But they clearly went all out on the budget for this one. Throwing the money bags on. There's like outfoxes now. It's It's nice that it gives you a second chance once you lose your plane, but realistically, your time is always limited to that. Right, remind you of a Dead Connection from Taito. That's not a bad game. That's one that tends to get very gangster style, isn't it? Very movie style. In fact, isn't that the one Taito have a fake movie brand just for the like Taito film and the attraction, something like that? Just try and make it look even more like a movie. But, you know, Day 3 is like their movie style game. You've got Sly Spy, which is obviously James Bond. Edward Randy, which is Indiana Jones. Which, you know, sort of that dude ninja type things. And other, you know, actual licensed movie games like Robocop. I'm not afraid to go for a movie type of action movie film sounds. big present with springy things in it. The sprites aren't tiny here, but there are a lot of small sprites. The explosions certainly aren't tiny. Let's go up through the stadium. Just be more careful what you let in the stadiums. Down. There aren't many games of this period with physics either, and there's clearly this sort of element of physics on the hook here. It swings with momentum, it drags along the ground. I think Taito really were trying to do something different here. It is dangerous. Collapsing buildings around it, that is dangerous. Yeah, the Great Ragtime. I say the ending says Ragtime Project 2, which just makes me wonder why. Was there a previous Ragtime game on a different system, or a cancelled game that we don't know about, or I just missed a connection? Anyway, here we go. Now it's getting to proper Christmas time. A bit of a sexy Santa. The humour is feels a bit Metal Sluggy in places, but scent. No. Christmas tree. Frosty here. Just melts more every time you throw. No. Oh. That's the reindeer. Pogo stick? It's not. And now Santa. Can we beat Santa without a plane? I think that's just no. Oh, nice. Pogo stick versus Santa Claus. Well, they've gone back Pogo stick anymore. And Santa, give me a new present. Oh, too late. Blues Brother cameo. Yeah, there's loads of little hidden references in this. All over the game. The statue even changes poses when it's bright. It's so silly. And it changes into a lot of statues. Again, golden statue. Yeah, Evil Santa before Futurama. Pick up those. The only other game that I think lets as you in a plane where you can fly planes is Acrobatic Dogflight. That's a Technos game, so I don't think that's any way related. in terms of that being ragtime game. Santa's head. Got Santa's head. Look. Oh. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Santa is gone. There's no more Santa. Santa no longer exists. Just load him up. That's all we need to play this game. We've done the Santa stage. We've done the Christmas stage. So nothing of value was lost. We'll get to do it all over again next year, if not before. I mean, a bit of Santa murdering is always a good time. Always a good time. Don't know where we're going next though, game wise. Again, I'm open to suggestions. If anybody has anything they would really like to see, I can try and have a look at it. Otherwise, I'm just going to look through a list of games. Crude Buster also has an Evil Santa. When is Evil Santa in Crude Buster? Is that early on or is that near the end of the game? Also, hey, Future Ufu? I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. Futalufu, Crude Buster, has an Evil Santa. How late on is Evil Santa in that? I may have to look up that Evil Santa. Astro Fighter by Taito. Oh, you want to have a look at the Taito license Astro Fighter? Stage 3 or 4? Maybe we can have a look at it. It'll be credit being love it. So, yeah, this turned up recently. In a pile of what was considered pretty much junk boards, I think. The Taito license set of Astro Fighter. Obviously, this is a Data East game, but Taito in some regions must have been responsible for the distribution of it. One of those games where everybody thinks it should have a black background because some boards were hacked to invert the colour from banks. But when you do that, you get the you have to take out the wave before you restart. Yeah. If you invert the banks, you get the blue background on the bonus stage instead, which is not what it's meant to be. There we go, wave cleared, but I wasted time. Yes, so your fuel is always ticking down, and you have to clear the waves. If you fail to clear a wave, the wave will completely restart. Yeah, that technique is a valid one. You can kill yourself to take out the last enemy, and it does count. Probably not recommended. And yeah, when they're flashing like that, you can't hit them. Got a bit slow down this, but it is what 79. Don't take out. So yeah, there are distinct versions of Astro Fighter. You'll notice these Taito ones have the larger style stars, and I think Aussie Guy was saying it's the early versions that have the larger stars, and there are missing sets with the Data East license that should also have the larger stars. Most of the bootlegs are based off this largest star version. TIE fighters. I mean, possibly. Star Wars was kind of a big thing. I wonder if it's possible to run Mole Hunter on the Taito board set. The Taito board set physically was very different, but I guess functional wise, it just slots in. So I'd imagine you could run it on either if you just split the ROMs appropriately. Unless Mole Hunter uses hardware features that this doesn't expose. But, I don't know. Mole Hunter's not dumped, is it? Unless I think there's something else. Yeah, this is all about precision shooting. Because you see, if you're not precise, look at that. Failed the wave, and now I have to start the wave over again. It's more difficult. What's the Sakurai game that pretty much ripped this one off? Was it Astro Wars? It was. Astro something. See, sometimes this stage is far more randomised than other stages. First time I played it, all the enemies were piled on top of each other. This time, they're much more reasonably distributed. My fuel is very, very low. Yeah, this is the stage that if you swap the bomb around, you get the blue background instead. Yeah, there's say you did share the earlier version. So yeah, the earlier versions seem to be the ones with the larger stars. I don't know why they changed that, because the larger stars make it stand out a bit more. So all these licensed versions and the bootleg seem to be based on the earlier version, but there's still an earlier, even earlier version where, you say, the hood text was fully Japanese, which who knows may one day show up or may not. It was interesting when you see those those Japanese sets where even the player 1 and player 2 and high score text, it's just entirely Japanese. There's a few Space Invaders ones like that. Usually clones. It's obviously quite a basic game by today's standards, but for a game in the late 70s, this is not bad at all. Hope Taito East get a foot in. Offer something a bit different to your traditional Space Invaders. With this wave-based gameplay. Don't know how many games have fuel at this point. People say Taito East just copied other people. They had quite a few of their own ideas. So there we go. I get some fuel back. Well, the Sakurai, I think, works actually. Let's just. Oh, there you go. Now I remember this idea was cloned quite a bit too. I had games on the home system Spectrum that used this style of gameplay. I can't remember for the life of me which ones, but I do remember a game with the enemies coming in waves like this. How good for the time were they? I mean, I guess they helped make the arcade industry. They you know, obviously there were pre-CPU games, but they were kind of a big deal when they came out, when they sort of they changed the landscape. Yeah, there's Space Fighter 3D. That's a really awkward title, Saturn Space Fighter 3D. That's one of the recent dumps, isn't it? I think I looked at that previous on stream. Yeah, I think Astro Wars is the one of the knockoffs, isn't it? Does it even work? So yes, this was later. This 1980. Zachariah deciding they wanted in on the act and making the sort of own version. Is there any sound emulation? I'm not sure. There's a bit. I mean, you know, it's kind of obvious what they were copying. Yeah, I don't know if Astro Fighter. Yeah, I think Astro Fighter might be not an 8080 actually. You're right. This is what you call shameless. It's like, yeah, let's just do our own version. Also, this is super aggressive. I think. They did not want you to be playing this one for very long. Look at it. Look at how many bullets are being fired at you. Astro Fighter 6502. Yeah. Not everything was 8080. The 8080 did make a big difference. I couldn't get this. Let's just have a dip switch. This is grossly unfair. Nobody knows what the dip switch settings are. Great. Let's turn them all on and see if it makes a difference. Very rare you encounter a game in MAME where all the dip switch settings are unknown. Not sure that's helped. It's also possible this is a hacked set because Italian operators love to hack sets and make them super difficult. It's not easy, is it? Anybody has a dip switch sheet for Astro War from Zachariah, then please fill them in. I think I'd have to turn infinite lives on there or something. I'm not even sure. But yeah, that was a bit of a shameless rip-off, wasn't it? So this is a bad game. Play Astropal. Oh, so while on Astro. The first bullet hell. I mean, it was definitely a bit of bullet hell going on there, yes. Now this is not as bad as the Asteroids game in that NES Famicom thing, but it's still pretty bad. There are times when you just can't turn in this as well. It doesn't make sense. But I could not turn. This is 8080. Oh dear, Saddam. I think Saddam should have stuck making bootlegs. This is Asteroids on Space Invaders hardware, yeah. From Saddam. And it's really bad. The control, just playing it does not really show how bad it is. There are times when you just can't turn for no obvious reason. It's really bad. Yeah, it is probably pushing the hardware a bit too much. I think it could have... Yeah, it speeds up just like Space Invaders 2. It's like... I was holding the turn button now, it was doing nothing. Yeah, it's... This was in your arcade, I feel very sorry for you. Very, very sorry for you. Even the fire doesn't respond sometimes. The game... The ship looks like a 2600 joystick. The 2600 version of Asteroids is much better than this, believe me. This is just torture. Yeah. Astropal. No pal of mine. And there are many Asteroids knockoffs. This is one of the worst. Right. It was mentioned that Crude Buster has a evil Santa somewhere in the game. So let's just credit feed our way through a little bit of Crude Buster and see where we end up. Everything basically. Oh dear. It's interesting that it only suggests certain things to pick up, but as you can see, you can just, you know, try and pick anything up, and not often you'll be able to. So that's a little bit like Boogie Wings, isn't it? In Boogie Wings, your hook can pick anything up. In this game, you can just pick anything up. I did say we're going to credit feed our way because I don't know the strategy plans. Just to probably pick bad dudes, yes. Set in 2010. That is when the apocalypse was. See what this evil Santa is, because I was not aware that there was an evil Santa. Yeah, I wanted the Mega Drive put up when I had a Mega Drive, but I never got it. There's another one of those where Mega Drive port is better. So we did find that with some Data East games where the ports ended up being a bit better than the originals. Hitoshi Saikimoto composed the music for this part. Do they have any other compositions I might know? Power Core.
Let's fight.
Brand new sword. Get the pot. Can I not get the speed? Can sometimes be difficult noticing for them in that line. Into the traffic sign. I'm sticking it on. Come on, let me do something. Those weren't dogs. We don't attack dogs on this channel. Oh, that one time. Going for Radiant Silver Gun Paradiver. I mean that's not what I would have expected from the music. Also quite a gap from this game. Tornadoes in that room. England Grand Prix. Roll move, isn't it? I didn't know that. I can pick up the sign here, can't I? I wanted the traffic sign for the place. Come on, I'm stuck in a corner again. There's probably a strategy for these hands. But yeah, I wanted that earlier, it wouldn't let me pick it up. Going around random piece of helicopter now. How's that thing still in the air? You tend to get overwhelmed in this, yes.
What a day.
Punch helicopters. I mean, yeah, why not?
What a day.
I can add that to my potential helicopter stream. Which I'm still trying to sort out a stream of games with helicopters in, so we've got that one down to the list. Sorry to anybody who actually knows how to play this game, and it must be quite painful to watch me just mash my way through it.
What a day.
Up here.
What a day.
Screen.
Pump it up. Stay cool.
Right. So stage 3, here we come.
Let's fight. What a day. What a day.
So all dogs were allowed to leave the screen.
What a day.
I kicked the dog, threw the dog off the screen.
What a day.
This is reminding me of Shinobi with the enemies climbing on the wall.
What a day. Hey, shorty. What a day. What a day.
No sign of a Santa yet. This doesn't look like a very wintry stage either, so I'm guessing there's not going to be an evil Santa on the stage. Unless the evil Santa is not in the arcade version.
What a day.
You know what? I'm kind of surprised Data East didn't do a single screen platform with these games that with these characters in. And maybe Funky Jet from Mitchell's the closest you get. I mean, that's all about punching things, but they could have themed that as a bad Crude or Bad Dudes game. Stage 4 has the Killer Santas. Excellent. Well, we'll get to stage 4 then, because we'll stage after this one.
You're not so tough.
Oh, it's just a little bit of more helicopters. still people coming out the door, even though... Okay. There we go. Visually, this reminds me a bit of Avenging Spirit for some reason. Clown chopper. It was a clown chopper. You were right. Don't usually get them. But, This is my strategy here. This is not a strategy. Come on. I don't know how a high jump do. I don't know what a regular jump. So I can't jump over the... I guess I should probably roll or something like that, should I? I'm assuming that's the strategy, is to roll. Okay. Don't time it right though. Even if you know to roll, or unless roll doesn't work. I'm not sure at this point. Thought I got it, but apparently not. So, on this very windy day. Oh, apparently, next stage, it's Evil Santas.
Let's fight.
This is one of those games where if the copy protection isn't hooked up properly, you get a winners don't make copy message. A few days to skin. It's definitely perfectly win to me now. I don't like these guys though, because they just pick you up and they toss you around and don't give you much chance. Look behind my face.
What a day.
Go down there. Mid boss is not Santa. Oh, we've been 2.5 hours. Okay, there'll probably be another half-hour stream. Considering we're using an entire time up left this time.
You're not so tough. What a day.
Feels like a very slow way to take him down. It works. Into the lamp post. Taking some. Oh, here we go. He is, well, Santa-like.
What a day. What a day.
Yeah, it's a bit of a goblin, isn't he? I thought he'd going to be a bit bigger. More of a sort of grinchy Santa. Got thrown around. He's still alive? I don't know if we killed him. No, I think we killed him. Is that the only one, or is there another one? Well, we'll complete the stage anyway. And that was a tank. Oh, I'm lifting up the tank. Boss everybody?
What a day. What a day. What a day.
It was just the one that was Santa. That's quite nice when you get one-off enemies in the stage. Especially with so many games that just say recycle enemies so many times from the stages. We've got the odd one who is unique in the stage. Kind of makes the stages feel more worth playing through. So, call Crude Buster there. We have had a festive little Santa goblin like. over. Data East presents We Know, New York in 2010. Goes boom. No wonder Santa was somewhat deformed. Nuclear explosions will do that to you. Will do. Imagine Knuckle Bash. I think it's, yeah, I can see. I think that style, isn't it? The overall game style is very attitude, and I can see where that fits in. Okay. Let me have a quick look at what's been going on then. If there's anything I really should highlight and have a look at. I'm not entirely sure there is. But we'll have a quick look. The Taito gambling game is not too impressive. There's been some research on some of the Konami protection systems lately, but that's not been fed back into MAME yet. That is ongoing. That's something for me to look at in the future. I had a look at the various dance games already. I will look at that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all what to be looking at right now. I'm sure I've done a few other bits and pieces. Yeah, the era of half the samples were orchestra hits. Yeah, that was 90s. Right. I'm honestly not sure what to put on. So I'm just going to go with any old game. This one will do. Gundhara from Bamfesta. So let's set it to English. Suddenly, children disappeared from town. Secret investigator Sarah entered secretly. Okay, whatever. We don't really need a story. Moved by 8-way joystick. Jerry or Jim? I'll get some Jim. Let's have Remote/Commando/Shock Troopers, but totally not those games at all. With a hint of what feels a bit like Power Plan and Rising style weapons. This is an odd one. You've got toothpaste lasers like a Cebu. This one is surprisingly unknown. I would have thought more people would be aware of Gundhara. But one of those, whenever I suggest it, people have gone, how have I never heard of Gundhara before? Straight arcade thing. Over the top violence. Can toothpaste lasers be made on an 8-bit machine? I think they'd struggle with the maths, to be honest. Because even it's one of the things even Raiden 2 uses the cop accelerator for. Protection check. It does the maths for things like toothpaste laser on there. I think an 8-bit CPU. You could have a lot of pre-calculated tables, but still, it's a lot of calculation for the beam. Also, a lot of sprites. I think they'd struggle. Probably possible, but probably slow your game down a lot at the same time. Straight up a bike, where you know it mixes things up. It's not just a straight walk-on shooter. No, well, I put the back bullet. Now you jump on the vehicle. More a straight-up shooter. Unfortunately, the hitbox is a little on the large side. Oh, hey, hipster doofus, welcome. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. In fact, that is much appreciated. I will try and do a bit more with the Twitch channel here over the next month, because I think until a few bits and pieces we're picking up from Japan arrive, I'm not making much progress into the emulation, so I'll probably do a few more streams to compensate. Although I have been looking at a few emulation things. I've currently got the Tatsumi driver rather torn down in a local tree because I'm trying to make some headway with some of that. One of my more long-term projects. Developed by Moss and Illuma. Yeah, you can kind of feel the Moss influence, can't you? It does. I mean, Moss did some of the later riding games anyway, didn't they? Is that Moss? I think it was Moss. Makes sense. Those are pigs. We're juggling pigs. Don't ask. Could have been a lot worse. I do like the odd game with the bike-based stages, vehicle-based stages. Mad Motor, the Mitchell Data East prototype, is a tied-on version, but it's kind of interesting. Doesn't play that well, maybe. Got riders are currently going on a bike. That's another 8-bit thing. I've had nothing to do with bad guys. No, you just happen to be in the wrong place. All checkpointed. Wrong place, wrong time. Oh look, we get to do it all over again. I'm always tempted just to add a second player on these checkpoint-based games, because otherwise I just get stuck in a loop of getting nowhere, because I'm not that good at them. A bit of sprite drawing at the top there, but it's probably how it is. That lack of polish is a little annoying, but honestly, not every arcade game is perfect. I know it's just special. I probably shouldn't use my special attacks up. What waves are these? Now, do we get some sort of boss? Yeah, we get another helicopter. Yeah, level 2 wants all my credits, and it's going to send me right back, isn't it? How far is it going to send me back? Oh, it's okay. It's still at the boss, at least. I suppose knowing where your hitbox is would help, because I'm sure it's not the whole sprite. It's probably just your body or something. Yeah. It's certainly got a fair bit of health. It feels like he's got far too much health. Yeah, take lots of shots. Astro Wars also from my former Cebu stuff. Mad shot, yeah. So this was worked on by some former Cebu staff anyway. Aussie guy. Is that what you're saying? Actually, now we have a second player. I didn't really want a second player. But, they can just walk and be a bullet sponge. Anyway, you get the idea. Now you can just want to be a bullet sponge. It does have that sort of Turplan Cebu feel to it, but without being a well-known game. They fought well. A little rough around the edges. But, yeah, actually rather enjoyable is Gundhara. One I tend to recommend to people, because there's always a fair chance they've never played it. And you know what, it's actually pretty good. Where are we going to go next, though? What should be the next game? I've not got many games left for today. We've done a bit of X1 today, so why not just go with another nice basic X1 game for a change? Change my view back. I think this might be a tape one. So, Space Burger. I guess when I saw the set name in the list, I was hoping this was going to be some kind of Burger Time clone, but as you can see, it is not a Burger Time clone. It is, well, it's Space Invaders. Quite a colourful Space Invaders clone, but Space Invaders it is. Little froggy like invaders. Bang. Kind of like the font. I don't see any burgers either, no. Unless they're meant to be burgers, but they really aren't very burgery, are they? It's rather tricky. Their rate of fire is quite high. Not the Astro Wars want you dead level we had earlier, but quite high. Maybe I should do a food beam stream at one point, though what counts. Diet Go-Go would count. Burger Time. And obviously Peter Pepper. Hot Dog Storm. So, yeah, I'm assuming they're meant to be burgers. Or different, maybe like the green one's meant to be lettuce and the other one's meant to be buns and the red one's meant to be meat. I'm not really sure. But you know, why not? Yeah, it could be something like that. I don't know what the ones at the top are. The UFOs. But I don't mind. It's quite colourful. It's like all these arcade Space Invaders games, and they're a little visually bland. Unless you like play Space Invaders 95 or something. So, I don't know. I'm not complaining. Sort of character. Even if it is just Space Invaders. This is why I like having these home systems emulated alongside the arcades, though, because I can always just fire something like this up and have a bit of fun for 5 minutes. And I think 5 minutes is all it's going to get. We have about 10 minutes remaining, though. Is there anything I really want to play? I'm not sure. I did not. Yeah. I mean, the X1 hardware, if you play a lot of the games, isn't that powerful. I think in that case, because everything was moving in tile-based movement, it seems a bit better than it is. But yeah, it's not the best. There's some okay X1 games. There's a lot of kind of rough ones. Shall we go to not far off where we started? The system doesn't work, does it? Okay, well, never mind. So we had a look at Donkey Kong 3 for the X1 earlier. Now we have Donkey Kong 3 for the PC-88, where it seems to run a lot slower. And we'll play this for a little bit, and then we'll probably end it. Now, keep in mind the system is marked as not working. The sound appears to be a fair bit weaker. But, yeah. A different version of a game we looked at earlier. Because, you know, these Japanese games did not always come out on one system. Sometimes they got ported to multiple systems. I've not even looked at, maybe I should have looked at Congo Bongo after making that tweet, but, I don't know. Come back to this. Assuming if you let them land, it's game over. More Donkey Kong, yes. Just why not? So, sometimes I do like to highlight games on different platforms, and since there are versions of this for the X1 and the PC-88 in the software list, you know, why not have a look at both? I think the X1 version is the slightly better version. Although I must say there could be emulation issues. This feels a bit slower. Yeah, I don't think these always have the best sound hardware either, these older systems. I don't know what the exact sound hardware is. I've not done any handheld stuff. I've not really researched any handheld stuff to do. There was a weird handheld set added recently too, with I think a radiometer feature measuring radiation. It can measure radiation as well as play game and watch games, which makes me wonder if there weren't standalone units based on the same tech for that purpose, and they just combine them. Naturally, I'm pretty sure it was one of the Russian clones. I don't know. The problem with Nintendo is they don't always want to acknowledge these other games using their IP. I'd love to see Hotel Mario on a modern platform, but it's not going to happen, is it? The sound is definitely weak on this version too. I'd say we've just... I'm aiming for about 3 hours and we've got 5 minutes to go, so... I thought I'd quickly look at this one. Let's... yeah, I get points for shooting the flag. That kind of looks like a dragon at I will upload the stream to YouTube too later. I haven't abandoned streaming on YouTube either, but for now I'm just using the Twitch. Oh, you can finish the stage by shooting him all the way up, sending him back into space. I think that's just a viable strategy anyway. I guess it seems a very cheap way. Can I really finish the stage? Yeah, apparently you can do that. That seems a bit of a cheap way to finish a stage. Not gonna lie, but yay. Okay. No, you go back, Donkey Kong. Now, yeah, those things are blocking my shots, so... Cheeky. You're ruining my strategy. Oh, there we go. Found a hole. The backgrounds just don't fit at all, but yeah, I see. I guess that's why it puts these enemies in this stage, just to stop me doing this anymore. Unless I let them go past. Let's see if we can get another background. I don't know how many backgrounds there are going to be. We've not done any Konami. Stage 5. In the UFO. Wait. This seems like a very cheap strategy, to be honest. It is making it more difficult, though, isn't it? Oh, what's that? So we have about a minute left. A minute. We got the UFO. Might be able to. No, I was watching the top of the screen and died. But there we go. A bit more Donkey Kong 3. Was it great counterattack? Did Aussie guy say earlier? Yeah, not many people like the original Donkey Kong 3. Very strange game. A very strange game indeed. But anyway. I will say thank you to everybody who has dropped by for this great counterattack. Thank you, Aussie guy. Thank you to everybody who's dropped by for this stream. We've looked at a variety of games. I didn't have much of a plan because I only decided to do the stream about an hour before I did, after looking at a few games, like the Donkey Kong 3 thing, and thinking, yeah, I wouldn't mind streaming that. I hope then get more back into the swing of things, but I've been busy. I've been actually trying to do main work, do things right, like write that extensive CPU core for the Konami plug and play, the Marimba Tengoku, which I think we should have probably played some Konami arcade music game to compare pop music or whatever it is, but didn't happen in the end. But yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you Aussie guy, Shuto Atom, and yeah. Mitchell was here too. Hipster Doofus for subscribing with Prime. Mr. Fungi, and it's been quite a quiet one, but I always expect the Twitch ones to be quiet. It means I can get on playing the games badly. And Cinemax and Mass Ninja were here too early. And Taz, of course. Taz, if you're still watching, thank you for dropping by. But good night, everybody, and take care. And I will see you next time.